Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be drawing Overhaul from My Hero Academia. So let's get into it. Alright, so now on to good old circle. So right here, we could just start sketching in the circle. Alright, so now we could just draw a curving line right at the end there. And the reason for this is because Overhaul will be looking at his side view. Alright, since we finished with that, we could just come underneath and just carry this line right there underneath the circle. Now after, we could just draw a straight line going up, and this will be like a little guide for where to place the ears later. So afterwards, now we could just draw this curving line right at the back of the circle right here for the back of the neck. Right, so now we could head in front right here underneath the jaw, and we could just put in this line here for the front of the neck. Afterwards, we go back on top and we go and draw this horizontal line going across, cutting through the circle, and that is like a little guide for like which part to place the tip of the ear. So right here we going in and we just go and start putting in this shape right here for the ears. So just like that, you know, take your time with it guys. Alright, so now we could head in front and we could start working on the forehead right here. So just coming in, drawing the forehead, and then afterwards we could just put in this line angling a little bit down for the eyebrows. And once that's finished, we could move on to doing the eyes now. Now that we finished with the eyes now, we will be kind of like drawing, you know, that big beak that Overhaul have in front of your face. Alright, so now we could draw this curving line right here, and we go and curve it and connect it, you know, back to the ears right there. And now we could go underneath and we could draw this other layer. And then we go and kind of like follow that same curve, and we just go and stop right here. Alright, so now we could come down here for the beak or mask, whatever you want to call it, but I go and call it a beak for the purpose of this video. Right, so now we could kind of like add in this little details here, and we could kind of carry it back up to that line we made earlier. So just like that. Then we could like finish off like doing that little strap right there, and then we could add like a little bit of hash marks right there by the eyes. Alright, so now we could just head over to the strap again and just start working on it a little bit more. And while we doing that, let me just erase the ears, and now we could just draw it back, and then we could continue finishing off the strap, and you could see how we kind of wrapping around the ears right there. Alright, so now we could just move down and just erase the neck right there because I didn't like how it was looking. So let me just do, you know, erase that, and let me just you know, draw it back right here. So just like that. Alright, cool. Alright guys, so now we could head back up top by the ears, and we could just start adding in these lines right here for the detail inside the ears. So just like that. Alright, so now that we finished with that, we could head here on top by the forehead area, and we could just draw this curve right here. And this is just a guide for later on when we go and add in like the hairs right there. But now we could actually go in and start like doing the hair. And for this, you know, don't be worried about this, like it don't have to be perfect. We just going in here really messy. So right here we just following the curvature of the head. So you're just drawing all these different hair strands wrapping around the head right here. So just going around, and then we just go and stop right at the back here. Alright, so now we could just head back to the curve we drew earlier, and we could just draw in the you know, the different hair strands right here coming down. So then we just go and end it off right there, and while we at it, we just go and like finish off the strap right here. So now we could just like shade in the strap a bit. So just like that, let we just like finish off the hair. And while we fixing up the hair, head down by the neck, and we could just like fix it up just like that. Alright, so now on to the beak in front. Right, so right here we just go on like, actually don't even worry about all these curving lines that you see in front of the mask right here, because to be honest with you guys, I was kind of going based off of Overhaul design in the manga, I believe, and I thought that design was really cool, but I noticed like this part was like really too complicated. So you'll see later on like we basically simplified that to the version you'll see in the actual anime. So right here, don't even worry about that. I would just say just focus on the you know, the bolts up in front right there, and then as we like move through like drawing that, then you could just you could also just focus on the two bolts that we have right there by the mask. But yeah guys, let me move on to like doing the body. Alright guys, so now we on to the body, And right here down by the neck, we gonna draw like these two curves. So just like that, because you know, Overhaul had like this big fur coat, so that's just a guide for that. So now that we had that finished, now we could just go around, you know, the curves that we do, and we could just start adding in like, you know, the fur. So it's kind of like a similar process to the hair. So you kind of like, you know, following the curve, you know, you'd ought to be like, yeah, don't try to draw it exactly how I drawing it. Just have fun with it. Just you know, just pull all the hairs all over the place. Alright, so we just doing that. Then, you know, we finish off the fur right there in the back. Alright, so now we could head in front and we could just like start dropping in the little tie here that peeking out right there that we could see slightly, just like that. So now we could just head over to finishing off the shoulder, and now we could just, you know, finish off the fur coat as well. Right, so we have that finished. Now we could just head up top and we could just like you know, just shade in here a bit. Alright, so just like that. Alright guys, so we pretty much done with the sketch. So now we go and kick it into time lapse just to do the inking process, and we'll be back. Alright guys, so we back after the time lapse, and as you can see, Overhaul already inked. And right here you could see what we did with the mask. As you could see, we kind of like simplify it to match the Overhaul from the actual anime. And you guys could like just go back through the inking process, just slow down that part, the part, you know, we actually change with the mask, and see what we simplify it to, so that way, you know, you could get like understanding. Alright guys, so now we could head over to the right and we could create a new layer underneath our ink layer, and now we could just start adding and dropping all of our colors to Overhaul. Alright, so now guys, we could just drop the color we need for the hair. Now we could just drop the color onto the skin. Alright, so now we could just drop the color onto the mask right here. We could just drop the different colors we need. Right, so now we could just move on to dropping the color onto the fur that Overhaul have on the coat here. So we could drop this purple color. And notice right here, for the ink, for the jacket, I'd set the ink to like alpha lock. That way I could like color in the, you know, the actual the ink itself, change the color of the ink. Right, because I don't want it to have a black outline, and you guys will see later what I'm talking about. So we just go in here and finish filling in the color for the rest of the clothing right here. Alright, so we finished adding in all the colors. And as you could see, what I was kind of talking about, if you look at the fur coat, you could see the kind of effect I was going for with like changing the color, like the ink for there. It's like the shadows inside there. Speaking of shadows, that we actually move on to the final part, which is like adding in all the different shadows right here. So right here we could go over to the right and we could create a new layer above the color layer, and we will just set that to clipping. And what I like to do, I like to select, you know, a purple color to do the shadows, and then set it to multiply. So right here we could start going in, you know, adding some shadows to the ears, add some shadows underneath the neck, and yeah, we could go and add some shadow right here underneath the hair right there, you know, where the bangs covering over Overhaul forehead, adding some shadows there. So we just going in here and just, you know, doing that in areas that we, you know, think it will be shadow and stuff like that. And yeah, this is just gonna be the whole process all the way through. So I don't want to like bore you guys with this part. So wait, just now check something. And bam, there you have it guys, the final illustration. This is how you draw Overhaul from My Hero Academia. Hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Alright, see ya.